Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Meet Britain's doomsday preppers stockpiling for World War III. Your phone is out of action, the electricity has cut out, and there's no way to reach food. What's your game plan? These are questions people have been urged to explore as the risk of World War III seemingly grows. With the EU announcement warning people to pack a kit that will help them survive for 3 days in case of war or natural disaster, nearly 500 million people across 27 countries have been advised to buy bottled water, energy bars, a torch, and waterproof pouches for IDs. Today's threats facing Europe are more complex than ever, and they are all interconnected. The European Commissioner for Humanitarian Aid and Crisis Management, Hajj Al-Labib, said, "Knowing what to do in case of danger, gaming out different scenarios, that's also a way to prevent people from panicking." But for a growing number of preppers, sometimes known as survivalists, they don't need any warning. Whether it's cupboards overflowing with tinned food, a car stocked with blankets, or an emergency bag stocked with flares, they're ready. They have been for years. There's a lot of people in high positions saying we're on the brink of World War III, Tom Blakey tells Metro. He served in the Pathfinders, an elite unit which acts as the eyes and ears for the British Army's 16 Air Assault Brigade. Tom, who has served in Kosovo, Northern Ireland, Iraq, and Afghanistan, would operate behind enemy lines to relay back information as quickly as possible. If anyone knows how quick reactions can be the difference between life and death, it's him. The first 36 hours of any disaster are crucial, but surviving that first night is just the start, explains Tom, 53. An attack may not come in the traditional way we view war, with a physical invasion or bombs dropping. It could be a cyber attack which could wipe out our phones, energy supplies, and water infrastructure in one big hit. Whatever the threat is, whether it's the weather, other human beings, a natural disaster, the first step is getting away from it and having a plan B. What if your car breaks down? What if the bridge you wanted to cross has collapsed? What if you don't have a water supply? You need to be prepared for the what-ifs. Tom was brought up with a will to survive. His father, a Vietnam veteran, would conduct dramatic fire drills at their home. With his brother and sister, Tom would climb out windows as the pretend fire raged. They weren't allowed to wear hoods or headphones. Their father wanted them to be aware of anything and everything. Tom spent the final 3 years of his Army career as a reservist with the Red Devils parachute display team based in Wiltshire. But an injury cut the experience short, which meant, by COVID, he had ample time to explore the internet. There, Tom stumbled upon prepping videos on YouTube and realized he had skills he could lend to the community. The prepping movement took root in the US, where it is typically associated with dramatic doomsday-like events, anything from an alien invasion to a zombie outbreak. But for British preppers, it's risks such as climate change or conflict they're bracing for. Tom adds, "I think there's a bit of a stigma around the word prepper. People think we're conspiracy theorists who hide away in the woods. That might be down to the American stereotype, especially as preppers over there can really focus on guns and weapons over basic skills. For a lot of us in the UK, it's a lot more practical. I do think it's important to have an inquiring mind and to question things, but I'm no conspiracy theorist." Over in Wales, Lee Price describes prepping as an insurance policy. He served in the Army in the 1990s and spent 20 years in the building trade after leaving service. Today, he combines both those skills as owner of the Bug Out shop. Lee sells everything from Army rations to water filters, camping equipment to first aid kits. His range of freeze-dried tinned food, his most popular item, can last until 2047. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine, he says prices of food tins skyrocketed by 56%. Lee, who also helps run survival courses from the Bug Out shop, tells Metro, "People are now realizing the importance of survival. You insure your house, you insure your car, why wouldn't you insure your way of living?" But most people are used to things being easy. They can get food delivered, parcels ordered, they've never experienced a power cut. We might have zombies after a disaster, but those zombies would be people trying to survive without a phone. Everyone expects that the government will provide for them if things go wrong, but that might not be the case. It will be communities supporting each other. That's how it used to be, but it's something we've lost now, especially in big cities. You do see it more in rural areas like here in Wales, as people know each other's skills and look out for each other during flooding or snow. Like Tom, Lee suspects that the biggest threat the UK faces isn't a nuclear attack, but a tech-based one that could limit our access to power. To view this video, please enable JavaScript and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5. Video. Up next. If something does happen, people need to keep calm, he warns. The reality is we're on the knife edge. We are close to war and people are only now realizing that. I don't think nuclear war will happen, they don't want that. But a cyber attack or energy blackout can still lead to mass panic. Desperate people will do desperate things to survive. Both Tom and Lee run YouTube channels, Prepared Pathfinder and The Bug Out Shop, respectively. If the world does unravel into chaos, they believe we'll be learning from each other rather than relying on those in power. The hope the information they teach can make that possible. The government doesn't want hysteria, but there are a lot of things happening which we don't know about, says Tom, who also runs adventure courses with First in Events. He adds, in the case of cyber attacks hitting the UK, they're relentless. We can no longer sit here and think everything will be all right. Taking small, basic steps can be the difference between life and death in the future. The risks are out there, online and in real life, and they're unpredictable. We need to be ready to face them head-on. Tom uses the acronym FSNAP to break down his advice. Fitness: if disaster strikes and you can't comfortably carry a bag of kit or walk several miles, then you're automatically on the back foot. It might be a raging fire or a mob of people. You have to be able to make a quick escape. Be as fit as you can be, because with any kind of threat, you need to be able to move from A to B. For the poor people in Ukraine, they had to evacuate with as much as they could carry, some holding children as well as their belongings. Skills: top of my list would be medical first aid. If you don't know how to treat a wound, then you risk illness or infection. You don't need to be a doctor, but basic first aid skills mean you can help other people as well as yourself. Navigation skills are also important. It's a dying skill. Familiarize yourself with a physical map, learn how to read it, and understand the lay of the land so you don't take the hardest route or become trapped in a bog or marshland. Basic survival skills, like how to purify water or start a fire, are also important. Networking: you can't go it alone. There will be a time you have to rely on others. Networking with like-minded people means you can lean on each other's strengths. Maybe someone is great at building a shelter, while another person is really good at medical skills. The threat might be other humans, so you'll be stronger as a pack rather than going it alone. Actions on: this is a phrase we used while out on patrol in the military. It's about being prepared for things going wrong. You might be operating at night where the lights go out. What do you do? Your car breaks down. What do? You need to be ready for anything. Personal skills: this is putting your skills into practice. You can watch a YouTube video on how to start a fire, but you really need to get out and try it first. Survival skills are hard. You can't put theory into practice the first time. If you do a medical course, do a refresher a few years later to make sure you're preserving what you've learned. Watch more below. This story was first published on January 23, 2024. Do you have a story you'd like to share? Get in touch by emailing Josie Copson@metro.co.uk. Share your views in the comments below. Era. More: Zelensky eerily predicts Putin will die soon, fueling more rumors about his health. Era. More: Brianna Gay's unapologetic life, as told by her grieving best friends. Era. More: Macron warns proposed peacekeeping force could respond if attacked by Russia. Stay on top of the headlines with daily email updates. This site is protected by Ray CAPTCHA, and the Google privacy policy and terms of service apply. Your information will be used in line with our privacy policy.